Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Lois and welcome back to Captive Minecraft. In the last episode, we were doing a little bit of work in the Nether. We went exploring, we went underneath the lava pool and actually found some ancient debris. Not enough to make anything with netherite yet, but still good things to find. Things we're going to need to find anyways. And yeah, I've been doing a little bit of work on the surface. Not too much. Chopped down some mushrooms. There are some ugly half mushrooms around just because world borders. If you haven't watched any of the other episodes and you don't know what's up with this Captive Minecraft and the world border, we get more space whenever we get advancements. So why are you starting on this episode? Anyways, I have a box down there that I'm trying to get mobs to spawn. Specifically, I would love to have a zombie, but alternatively, a skeleton that I can not murder on accident would also be really good because we need to get some advancements with those guys. Let's take a look real quick at all of our advancements. So we have quite a bit of stuff. We're going to attempt to get some things today. We're going to try to get it spreads. We're going to hire some help. I don't believe we need to have a villager for that to work, so that is good. At some point, we will get a sticky situation. I want villagers before we get to that point, though. The reason being is simple. This stuff is rare. Villagers will trade glass, which is what I actually want. I want glass so we can make some nice looking things. Last time we also got some cats to spawn, and they're actually in our base. But let's see if we have what I want here. I want a zombie. More than anything, I want a zombie. Perfect. There's also a skeleton in there. Alright. This is going to be a little bit tricky, but I'm going to try to separate these two. So let's get... Hey. Nope. I would love to separate these two. Ow. Let's see if we can get somebody to come over here. Nope, they both did. Would they, this might be a little bit more difficult than... Okay, well, skeleton, you're less important. So zombie, Mr. Zombie, I am gonna wait for a little bit, because what we're gonna try to do is we're gonna try to get another advancement, which is not in this section. By the way, this is the nether stuff. We need to get blaze rods. That is something else important, but I want this, the healing power of friendship. We're gonna try to get that. We're also gonna go mining a little bit today, so that is kind of the plan. And which axolotl is this? All right, perfect. So what we're gonna do is once it is dark, we're gonna get this zombie to follow me into the water and turn into a drown, and then we're gonna put the axolotl in. Hopefully, the axolotl should attack the drown. We murder the drown. Everything is great. So yeah, I did have a skeleton in here earlier, and accidentally murdered him while trying to get him into position to get the sniper duel achievement advancement. I'm gonna do that a lot. One other thing to note is I did add another mod, and I don't know that it's going to really be visible at this point, but I'll show you a little bit more of it when we go down underneath in the underground. Come here, zombie. Zombies can't swim, so he'll just hopefully stay down there, especially if we just kind of kite him a little bit, and he'll turn into a drown eventually. So let's go ahead and, while he's down there, nope. Stop trying to get out of the water. So if we can get him to turn into a drown, the axolotl will attack, And when the axolotl attacks, we just have to finish off the zombie and we'll get the advancement, presumably. Perfect. So, Axolotl did its thing. It did target him. It didn't work. Ugh. Okay. I need to figure out how this stuff works exactly, but the Axolotl got attacked and played dead, so I think that's the problem. But that's okay. So we're gonna do something different this next time. I'm going to keep the box as it is, and we'll just flood it. We'll put water in there so the zombie drowns. Anyways, today, like I said, I want to make an iron golem. So let's go ahead and do that. Does it matter where we do it? Not really. I am going to murder the iron golem, but that's whatever. And presumably this will be good enough. We just got to make sure he has a face, world border, and we have wolves. Perfect. Okay. So iron golems can't go into boats. But what we can do is, I think it's 3 blocks up. Yeah, perfect. We're gonna get some of our iron back. Oh right, ones you make don't hurt you. I forgot about that. That is a little minor thing that I always forget about. By the way, yeah, that's the mod I added. It is the light overlay. Basically, it shows you if mobs can spawn in a certain area. I'm going to use it just to make sure that up here especially is mob proof. There was a mushroom, and I don't remember if I tore it down or just lit it up. I think I just lit it up. It's this thing right over here. That mushroom was spawning in things, which is why we had people up here. But we have wolves. Wolves are both good and bad. One, they're really easy to deal with in terms of breeding. We can breed them pretty easily. Organics, mob drops. Let's take plenty of bones. We do need to tame them, and that's the kind of the issue. Wolves like to teleport to you, and I don't want them to. So we're gonna go ahead and tame these wolves. And there's one. You. Alright, and then both of you can come over here. Please. Hey, other wolf. You should teleport to me if we get far enough. Perfect. Okay. Now, I think we can breed them with... Can we breed them with rotten flesh? We can. Perfect. And we can set them all down. So you guys need to come down here. And we're just going to set you here for now. Where's the other one? Come here, doggy. So, yeah, that was easy enough. So we've now bred wolves. That is another mob off the list. And let's go ahead and get kind of sorted on the gear. Alright, so yeah, at this point we need to do a lot of different things. But one of the big things we need to do is we need to get more room in the nether. I've also been making some more blocks. So I've been making smooth stone. Kind of the plan is I have these ocelots. They do not like me right now. We're gonna fix that eventually, but I want to make like a jungle habitat. We're gonna use these smooth stone blocks because they look a little bit nicer. For this, and then I'd love this to all be glass. I just want to kind of make a frame, and the plan is I always forget. parrots cannot breed. You cannot breed two parrots together. I feel like you used to be able to, but I think it was removed. I don't remember. But anyways, these guys will live in with the ocelots. Ocelots should not attack them. They only attack baby turtles and baby chickens. So we just keep them away from them, and it's fine. So that is kind of the plan, the idea. So let's go ahead and head down. I'd like to find some more diamonds, and we're gonna see if there's any skulk. What are they called? Catalysts that we can use. So if we hit F7 down here, that is the hotkey for the light overlay. Which, by the way, all the mods I'm using are, well, okay, both of the mods that I'm using are merely utility. So the one makes this screen a lot bigger, and the other one is the light overlay. It just tells you where places that mobs can spawn are. That's literally it. That's all it does. There's some other mods with them that are just like frameworks and whatnot. You have to have them. But yeah, that's the only thing we have. And you can see the red marks means that mobs can spawn. Yellow means that they can spawn at night if it sees the sky, type of thing. It does cause some issues with frame rates, I've noticed, and this is from other mod packs. So I'm not going to have it on all the time, and I'm mostly going to be using it for up above, but both the mods can be found in the description. I've started including the links to them as well, rather than just the names, just to be upfront and clear. This is still a vanilla playthrough, I guess, but and it is a vanilla map. Like, that is 100%. It's, you find it online, and you can play it on your normal Minecraft. You just have to use 1.19.3, I think. And it's just one of those things of, I could, at the very least, for, I don't know if there's a resource pack or anything that fixes the advancements stuff, but there is going to be a lot of darkness down here, including a spider spawner. Interesting. I didn't even know this was here. At least I didn't remember that was here. Nothing much that I really care about, but we're going to take all that stuff. And can we do this? No, they don't attach. That's been fixed. So it is one of those things that, like, this is all vanilla. I could, the light overlay, I do know that there is a resource pack that you can get that does the same thing. So that is always like an option that I could have done, but the mod is a little bit easier. It's kind of what I'm used to. There is a lot of stuff down here. So as we kind of go down, that's my chest. I'm still going to look at it every single time I walk by it. But yeah, so that's the mod thing. I debated whether or not I wanted to include the light overlay mod, and I decided to go ahead. So anyways, let's focus on what we're doing. Let's head down a little bit more. Giant slime. I do want to make sure that this side is relatively safe still. Yeah, it just goes into a dead end. And there's a lot of darkness down here, and a lot of stuff I haven't like fully cleared out. Apparently the slimes fell. That's cool. And then obviously there's a ton of darkness. So we still need a drop from a zombie. So zombies are actually really good to find, because they're gonna get us potentially, eventually, a potato. And potatoes are good. potatoes are like most of the food that we need to eat. And, you know, eating all of the food is really good. So let's explore this mine shaft just a little bit. We do have a lot of our stuff, our good gear, including our, you know, we should just do this. Our diamond pickaxe with fortune. So let's pick up some iron. Always good to have more iron. You can never have enough iron. There's a lot of iron here. But in general, like, you know, pick up all the ores you can find. Copper is a lot less important unless you're making something with copper. It is very much more a decorative metal, which is kind of a shame. It'd be cool if it had a little bit more use, but there's not too much. It's mostly decorative. And just make sure we get all of the iron. We have plenty of torches. I've been making a lot of charcoal off camera. That is something we can do. And I should probably clear out a lot of these mine shafts in terms of like all of the wood and stuff. It makes it a little bit easier to see if you just get rid of that. But nothing here. There is a couple of other things that we can do. So, for example, just make sure I didn't hear anything over here. So let's just make sure there's nothing over here. Gold is actually something that we want to get a good bit of because of piglins. If we can barter with the piglins, we can get crying obsidian, which would give us an advancement. Is that the only way to get that advancement? No, but that's definitely an easier way. There is always the possibility of us making like a we could make a gold farm, I guess, if we really needed to. I know kind of the principle behind one, but it's also gonna be a pain to make anything like that for multiple reasons. One of the big reasons is the fact that, like, you know, we don't have that much space to deal with. Something about a border. But alright, looks like most of this area is pretty secure. There's definitely more stuff this way. And, you know, it's always terrible digging like this because you never know what Y level things you're going to be at. Sound is location based, but it's a lot harder to tell up or down. But let's just make sure this area is clear. So the geode is empty. Oh, it is not. It is not safe over here at all. Okay. That's fine. I fell down a hole. So let's clear out this area over here. There is a pretty big cave, it looks like. And while I don't have the best of... Oh yeah, there is a lot of stuff over here. I don't have the best of gear when it comes to fighting mobs. Just because I don't have, like, you know, all of those fancy enchants. We don't have the levels. Spiders should not be able to use the world border as a wall. Just saying. That doesn't seem right. Okay. So nothing here. But there was... a zombie and creeper over here. Where did they come from? There's no way they walked this far, so they must have just spawned and walked up. That must be it. That looks like an Enderman. Something an Enderman did. And my inventory's full. Cool. Alright. I don't really care about moss, I'll be honest. Let's go over to that chest again. And I think it is a lot safer around here. Hopefully you guys didn't hear my stomach just grumble. That would be weird. Okay. Let's get out of here for just a moment. And then we're going to head down to the deep dark area. We're just going to drop everything. 39 iron is not too bad. Let's get more torches on the bar. And let's head back down here. So our way down is over here. And this is going to lead to the, whatchamacallit, the Stronghold. And there's probably going to be more darkness here, so let's just make sure we get to the light. I do not like that. Stop. So I did find out things do not spawn in the deep dark. This is also experience. There's a lot of experience right here. But things do not spawn in the deep dark naturally. So that is something to keep in mind. If we see your normal vanilla mob spawns, it probably means a spawner. And just make sure things are well lit. I will gladly grab lapis. Lapis can be hard to find. Okay. I found more. There's a big vein of lapis here. And some iron. Cool. Almost 2 stacks of lapis. Okay. Well, I don't think we're going to have any troubles with lapis from here on out. But, let's see. I have these, like, weird tunnel. Okay, so that was just another tunnel. Let's make sure everything over here. Redstone is also... While redstone is not the most useful for us, it is super useful for getting things like experience. Redstone gives you a lot of experience, so it is at the very least useful for that. Okay. So back into here. Haven't explored all of the Stronghold. Obviously, there's some more areas that have just opened up because of the world border. Would probably be smart to... Oh, that's what we wanted to find. Okay, so... let's get in here and see what we're working with. Oh, that is so rude. You are terrible. Unfortunately, we can't do anything about this spawner. Silverfish are going to spawn, whether we like it or not. They spawn at any light level on bricks. So that is really nice. For multiple reasons. So that's half the ender pearls that we need. Okay, that is very polite of the map. And these chorus flowers are actually really important for a couple of reasons. One, that is another food source. And it's while we can go fight the Ender Dragon, no problem. Like, that's easy. Getting to the End Islands is probably going to be a no. There's also... Okay, we have more deep dark stuff. Are we in the deep dark? Where is the biome? Yes, we are in the deep dark, so nothing's going to spawn in here. I don't remember if these give... These do not give experience. But there are chests. Bane of... Oh my gosh. Yes, we'll take some of this stuff. I could grab all of these bookshelves, and that ladder is not somewhere we can get, but we can just as easily come up here like this. And it looks like other chest is there. That's unfortunate. Oh well. That is what it is. So we'll not be able to get any more loot from this guy for a while, but we're getting some cool things. So let's check this chest on the off chance that it has something that we want. Redstone and bread. Yeah, sure. Let's just dump those in there. I'll take the bread. Already ate bread. That is not something we need to worry about, but it's still, might as well take it, you know. We're gonna run out of steaks eventually, probably. So I am completely lost in here, I will say. This is a gigantic maze. This is not the way we need to go, because that is the portal. But, like, this is some good stuff to find. Does this go? Nope. So ultimately, like, what we need to do is we need to get blaze rods. If we can get stuff in the nether, we'll be a little bit better off. And I don't know. So that's that. That's how I just came. This is, okay, this is the entrance. So everything is on the first floor, which is good to see. Makes things easier. And then we have this. And that leads us to the deep dark. I really don't want to mess around too much down here. I wish we could get just a little bit more. Yeah, because there are bad things that are in range. And I really don't want to deal with a warden anytime soon. Wardens are bad. We can explore up here a little bit. This is all deep dark, so no normal mob spawns. I am going to need to murder something. There's so many sensors. I should probably start thinking about wool and getting a bunch of wool for things like that. We don't want to destroy them. That is something I don't like you. Can we just pick you up? We might need you later. So yeah, we don't want to destroy those, because they are useful, and I really don't want to like go down there. I don't see it. It's very hard to see. I'm having trouble seeing, but let's head over this direction. And what is What is you? More Stronghold? I don't want to go any further down, but there's like a lot of stuff scary down here, and this is suspicious. Can we dig down here? Actually, there is some good that can come from this stronghold. We might be able to get the advancement of spreading the skulk just by... I heard something. There's a spider that direction. Also, our inventory is still very full, so I should probably get out of here before we die and lose everything. Just want to see what's up here. I don't know what's up with this structure. I'll be honest, I've not done too much exploration in the deep dark and the ancient cities and stuff like that. So what is up with this? Let's get some... There's definitely like a spawner or something. And like I said, I don't know too much of these structures, but I think it's time for us to leave. One, this episode has gone on, I think, long enough. There is definitely a lot of scary down here, and we have a lot of good stuff on us. So it would be good to get out of here before we anger the powers that be in this area and upset them. But yeah, like I said, I don't know much about the Deep Dark. I've not really played around too much with it. But there is definitely a spider spawner or something. And this place is terrifying. So, I will tell you guys what. I think we're going to go ahead and end the episode off here. I'm going to very carefully make my way back to the surface. That is not one I want to do anything with, but like, we can pick up the catalyst, I do believe, with Silk Touch. And that is going to be important for getting the advancement. Obviously, we want to have that somewhere we can kind of control it a little bit better. But unfortunately, we didn't find any diamonds. I'm going to have to probably deal with a lot of this area. It's terrible, though, and I don't want to. But yeah, all in all, we did find some really good stuff. We found the end portal, and we got some advancements that are a little bit easier to deal with. I don't know why I'm going to probably try to continue to get some drowned spawned in and all that kind of fun stuff. We'll get the advancements for that at some point. I realize it's right here that we go up. Hopefully next episode we'll get a couple of those. The Axolotl advancement, maybe the Sniper Duel advancement, we'll see. But for now, that is going to be it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!